And we welcome you here for Game 3 here between High Point University Club Baseball and Duke Blue Devils Baseball alongside Ben Shelton. I'm Charles Crowell. High Point looking for the sweep today in Game 3 between these two teams. We're underway here with the first pitch. Be a low ball one here. Pitcher today for Duke Blue Devils is Quee. We saw him play the other day at infield, so Duke Blue Devils utilizing their utility guys. 1-0. DeWitt will line one to the third baseman, now be caught out. And that'll be the Panthers' first out of the day.
Yeah, what a phenomenal grab there by the third baseman. He does a great job at just using his length and going up and grabbing the ball, and that's a out for the Panthers.
Up to the plate now will be James Harris. He'll take a first pitch outside for ball one. Yesterday, the Panthers put up a lot of runs on Duke, winning the first game 14-2 and 18-2 right after that in a doubleheader. Harris takes strike one on the outside.
Yeah, we talk about dominant performances. The Panthers in both those outings looked phenomenal, and they'll look to carry that into today.
Harris fouls one back here right, and they'll make it 1-2. Harris yesterday batting towards the bottom of the order, so today he'll bat 2. Nice to see him move up in the batting rotation. Here's Quee with a high off-speed pitch. That's going to get another ball. And that'll even the count. Low and away for Quee. Now make it a full count.
Like you mentioned, Harris moving up in the lineup. This just shows the depth of this Panthers team. They can move their guys around and still play very well, and this team is just super deep.
Another outside pitch, and Harris will take the walk. Now bring up Oliver Cush, and we saw a lot from him yesterday. This is a really big part of the Panthers lineup here coming up with Cush and then Oswick on deck, and Nagel right after him. Cush and Oswick yesterday both had home runs in the second game of the day, so hopefully you can see they can repeat that. First pitch low and away for Cush. Runner goes, and Harris will get there in time.
That's a great play by Harris. That was a fight for the bag right there, and he just reaches out and touches the bag before the baseman can hit him and get him out. So that was just a great extension and great play by Harris.
Pitch outside, and that'll make it 2-1. Look at the second baseman, thought he had him. I thought there's going to be plenty of time to get Harris, but I guess he avoided it. Quee delivers. That's a high pop-up into center field. But it's going to drop in the right field. And Harris overstepped himself, but he got back in time. A little bit of a strange play there. Looked like it was going to center field, but looked like it drifted more towards right because of the wind.
Yeah, Cush gets lucky there with a dropped pop fly, and then Harris tries to get a little greedy, but luckily he was able to retreat back to second base in time.
So runners on first and second for Oswick, who will take a first strike. Only one out for the Panthers. Quee paints the outside corner, and that'll be strike 2. Early start here for High Point. Team loaded the bus at 7 a.m. for a 9 a.m. first pitch. Oswick will get his first ball. We'll have to see if the waking up early factor sets into place at any point during this game. Oswick fouls one back. We'll keep the count 1-2. One two is high. Now even the count. Kui already approaching 20 pitches for the first inning, which is not a good sign. After yesterday, Duke had a pretty rough day in terms of pitching, as another ball is fouled back by Oswick. Off speed up high, now make it a full count. It's a sunny day here in Durham, about 60 degrees. It's good baseball weather here for a Sunday morning. Oswick fouls another one back. Then we see there one of the High Point players carrying their DoorDash delivery over to his dugout. Because he skipped breakfast. Here's a grounder on the left side. Now get Oswick on base.
Oswick just being one of those guys you can rely on here at fourth in the lineup. This Panthers team has just ran through him. Like we mentioned yesterday, Oswick was the Dixie North Player of the Week for last weekend, and he's just been a great addition as a freshman for this Panthers team so far.
With bases low, this will bring up Drew Nagel. It was like a first pitch outside for a strike. Pitchers have been choosing to pitch outside for both teams. It's a common trend that we've noticed here. This one goes right down the middle, though, and now we strike two.
Yeah, you don't see often a team having to use an infielder at pitcher, one of their utility guys. But Duke's lineup was shortened compared to the first couple of games that we played.
And Nagel will strike out there, and I'll be out number two. This will bring up Vito DeMonte. Vito took a first pitch. High, but in the middle for 0-1 count. Kui winds up and delivers, and it's a high pitch, but leaving the count 1 apiece. Kui delivers. Here's the 1-1. Outside for ball 2.
DeMonte, another one of those freshmen that have been a very big impact for this Panthers team, looking to drive home a couple base runners here, get the Panthers on the board.
2-1, take a strike. That'll make it 2-2. Kui so far having better control than some of the pitchers we saw yesterday. Not as many wild pitches. As he'll strike out for DeMonte, now retired aside. Bases loaded, we're left. 0-0 still after the first inning, and we're right back for Duke's at-bat right after this. And we welcome you back here for the bottom of the first inning. Duke's first at bat. Pitching for the Panthers now is going to be Bradley Robinette. He's a freshman righty from Virginia. He'll deliver his first pitch of the morning. Should be a strike.
Speaking of Bradley Robinette, he's been very dominant. His most recent outing, he struck out 10 batters against the University of South Carolina, and also was named the Dixie North Pitcher of the Week for that performance. So he's looking to carry that into today.
Robinette will just miss the inside for ball 2. Here's a foul back towards the right side. Now going to the shrubbery. He'll even the count at 2 apiece. Two, that goes inside. I'll make it a full count for Robinette. Full count. Here's delivery. Goes right back up the middle and just out of the reach of the shortstop, Harris, and that'll be the first hit of the morning for Duke.
I like to see that for Harris, just letting his body on the line and just using that extra strength from just a little jump to try and get there. That's good energy, bringing it into this early morning game.
Up to back for Duke now will be Coy Kendall. The shortstop for the Blue Devils. And that gets past the catcher. And that's going to be a steal for Kadiyama. And that puts High Point in a not ideal spot here early on in this game. Coy Kendall, 1-0 count. Robinette gets his signal. And he'll deliver. Right down the middle for strike 1. Now leaving the count. Coy Kendall, who batted first yesterday, he's bumped down 1 spot here in the order. Here's the 1-1. Robinette hopped off the bag trying to pick off Kadiyama.
The Panthers need to make sure that this top of the order for Duke doesn't affect the start of this game too much. They don't want to go down early, which is something that they haven't faced yet at all in this series, is being down, if I'm not mistaken, at all. So they don't want to be down here early and have to claw their way back into this one. So the pitching and the defense need to stay solid here in this bottom of the first.
Freshman catcher James Smith went out there to talk to Robinette. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. That'll be strike 2. Make it a 1-2 count. Still no outs here in this first inning for Duke. Briley is on deck for the Blue Devils. Here's the pitch. Outside, a little low. Now even the count at 2. And Kadiyama's tried going for third, and now he's in a pickle. Shortstop gets him. He's tagged out by Harris, and what a play by him to get out that Duke runner. That saves a dangerous chance there for High Point.
Yeah, just a misstep there by Kariyama. Just stepping off the base a little too prematurely. And Harris recovers back to second base, gets the ball, puts him in a pickle. And with the speed of Harris, you're not getting away from that one. So just a great play there by the Panther D.
inside, nearly clips Coy Kendall. Now make it a full count. So Panthers get their first out after a strange sequence of events. And the first pickle we've seen all weekend. Here's the delivery. That's fouled back right by Coy Kendall. Full count still. And Robinette will throw. That one's fouled again back to the right. And now go into some trees here to the right hand side. Right down the middle, off speed by Robinette, and that's his first strikeout of this morning.
Looking at his strikeouts all season, he's got 18 on the year, one today, 17 in his last 2 games that he had both played and started in. And he has just been a strikeout machine for this Panthers team, and that's a great way to get it started. Get 2 outs on the board, 1 unconventional and 1 through a strikeout. So they're look to get out of this inning.
Briley swings that first pitch strike. And good play there again with that pickle. That was looking like it was not could be an ideal situation for the Panthers, but good for them to try to get that out, as this one's going to go high for ball 1. 1-1 count, 2 outs. He's robbing that. That one's a little off-speed pitch, but goes outside for ball 2. Briley ahead in the count, as he'll foul one back for strike 2. Here's the 2-2. That's a strikeout for Robinette. That's his second of the morning. And that'll do it here for the first inning. And we'll be right back here for the second after this quick break. We're back here at Jack Coombs Field in Durham, North Carolina for the start of the second inning. And we'll kick it off here with Brad Schmidt, the grad student for High Point. Quee so far about to approach the 30 pitch mark, as he'll throw outside for strike one. Again, Duke pitchers are opting to go to the outside, not throwing anything on the inside for high point. As Schmidt will swing at strike two. And he'll swing again for a strike three, and that'll be Quee's first strikeout of the morning.
Schmidt coming into this game only with one strikeout, so he doubled it there. Not a good way to start off the inning if you're the Panthers and just trying to get guys on base and look to get the score to what it was yesterday.
And this will bring up James Smith, the freshman catcher. Saw a little bit of his hitting yesterday. He gets a start for this morning. I see he'll look at one on the outside for strike one. He'll look at another strike. He'll go down 0-2. We see there Cole Mitchell in the on-deck circle. He batted second yesterday. And swing out the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Smith. He'll be the first base runner this inning for High Point.
Smith having a great on-base percentage as we see him step off for Shane Musselman. As we mentioned yesterday, he's been a guy who has really been great as a base runner, a pinch runner for this Panthers team. And just because, or he can run these bases because James Smith got on base in the first place. And another freshman that's huge for this team, James Smith. And just a lot of guys, like we mentioned earlier, this is a very young team. A lot of the guys being underclassmen, and there being 13 freshmen that have a lot been impactful.
There it goes. That's going to be a high throw down a second, and he got him out. Musselman slipped off the base. Now be out number two for High Point.
We didn't see much of that from Musselman yesterday. He had a lot of stolen bases, just running up that stat line yesterday, but just unfortunate that he slipped off the bag. And
that'll be strike two to Mitchell. 2 outs now for High Point. Mitchell down in the count. Quee delivers. Be a high ball one. Here's the 1-2. Right down the middle. Now retired aside for Quee. So unfortunate base stealing situation leads to the end of the batting for High Point, but we'll be right back for Duke's hitting right after this. We're back here for the bottom half of the second inning. Zamani will lead off for Duke, and we saw him pitch the other day. Not the greatest outing for him, but he'll look to hit here and create some offense for Duke. That'll be an outside strike one for Robinette. Be a ball one outside. Even count 1-1. Pitch down the middle, that's fouled back. Here's the 1-2. That one's also popped back.
Both teams having relatively slow starts to this game, which is something that we saw yesterday from the Blue Devils, but we did not see from the Panthers. It'll be interesting to see as through these innings if this continues to be a pitcher's duel.
Be a ball up high, and I'll even the count at 2 apiece. Be a high ball 3 for Robinette. That'll make it a full count. There's a hit into left field. Now bloop right towards Cush for an out.
Yeah, that's just an easy one. Cush didn't have to move much at all. Kept his eye on the ball. As we see the sun glaring through the clouds here, you don't want to get too caught up in that and get blinded, but that's a great play by Cush.
Robinette throws an off-speed pitch, but that'll be a ball 1. Up now for Duke is Granado. He's a left fielder here for Duke. Another pitch grazes the outside corner for a strike 1. Robinette loads and deals. That's going to be a swinging strike 2 for Granado. The 1-2 goes high and outside for ball 2. Way outside. That'll be a full count for Granado as his teammate Goldman is on the out deck circle. Robinette loads, and that's going to be a walk for Granado. A slow start for this one as compared to the 2 games yesterday. But again, we talked about it. Could be a matter of an early start, as this game was originally scheduled to start around 10:30 today, but got moved up a little bit. We'll see Goldman up to the plate. He'll swing. He'll bloop one to center field. DeWitt can't quite get there. And that'll be a base hit for Goldman.
Goldman just has a very good whack at it and gets it right in between the outfielders and the infielders. It doesn't matter if he found his cleats or not because he doesn't have them on. He's wearing a pair of New Balances that do not have any spikes, but I guess that doesn't really matter because he's still able to hit one and get on base.
Turf field here, so could be opting for the tennis shoe option for today's game. Here's a first pitch swing and a miss for Sarchio, the catcher. Sarchio, we saw yesterday, good defensive catcher for Duke. As he'll look at his second pitch. Low in the middle for ball 1. Robinette gets set. He'll deliver. Down the middle for strike 2. Swing and a miss there from Sarchio.
Robinette's just putting it right where it needs to be and getting these guys to swing. So great pitching here recently from him.
Swing and miss again for Sarchio. Now it'll be strikeout number 2 for Robinette. Or excuse me, 3.
Yeah, Robinette is no stranger to strikeouts, as we mentioned earlier. He does a great job at just throwing it right where the batters think they can get it and just can't quite get a bat on it. So great job from him here to getting out with important base runners on bases for Duke.
Now bring up Brown, the center fielder. Delivery from Robinette, that's fouled off. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Robinette still dealing. He's settled in a little bit more after that slow first inning. Robinette, he'll set and deliver. That's a swing. That's going to be a drive into the right side, but it's foul. So 0-2 count now for Brown as he goes into the hole. Again, runners on second. In scoring position if Brown can make contact. Here's the 0-2. A swing and a high pop towards the left-hand side. Still in playable territory, and the third baseman's going to get that. Nagel will catch that and now retire to side. End of the second here, but we'll be right back after this for the third. We're back here for the top of the third inning and top of the batting order for High Point as Quinn DeWitt will step up and lead off the Panthers. Here's his first pitch. Way outside. Gets past the catcher Sarchio. And that'll be a ball 1.
DeWitt having a lot of on-base appearances yesterday, looking to continue that into today with a hit.
Kui throws outside for strike 1. That'll be their ball. They'll make it 2-1. Quee delivers, and it's fouled back by DeWitt. Got a few spectators here in attendance. A couple of Duke students as well. As DeWitt gets a full count here at 3-2. Quee throws, and it's a foul over to the left-hand side. And it just gets out of play and hits the top of the Duke clubhouse.
Panthers are looking for some momentum here. They haven't really gotten anything to spark so far.
Way outside for DeWitt, and that'll be a walk for him. That'll be the first base runner of this inning.
Yeah, if you're the Panthers, you'll take that any day. They haven't really gotten great contact or great ability just to hit it so far, and you'll take a base runner on base, whether that comes through a walk, a beanball, or a hit. So let's see if the Panthers can start it off here with DeWitt on first.
DeWitt will probably look to steal here, as he's one of the speedier guys on this High Point team. As that one gets inside for Harris. Catcher Sarcho tries to get DeWitt on first, but nothing there. Quee tries picking off DeWitt at first, knowing he'll steal. Can't quite get him, though. Tries picking off again. But it's dropped by the first baseman, Briley.
DeWitt just having a great season this year for stolen bases. As you mentioned, he's one of the speedier guys. Coming into this weekend, he was a perfect 3 for 3 on stolen bases. And this weekend, we know that he's had a couple more. So his number on stolen bases has just been going up, which is just great base running from Quinn DeWitt.
2-0 count here for Mitchell. He'll ground one to the third baseman. He'll throw a second, get the first out. But Mitchell will make it safe to first. So 1 out here for High Point. Base runner still at first, just a different person this time. This will bring up Oliver Cush. Be ball 1 here. Quee. He'll get a timeout here from Cush as he pitch took too long.
Cush in these next couple at bats here is looking to amass the 20 hit mark on the season already. His on base percentage is at 50%, and he's done a great job at making contact with the ball.
There's strike 2 to Cush. He's down 1-2 in the count. Again, slow start here for High Point as compared to yesterday, as Cush will sky one straight up for the pitcher Quee. It'll be a third baseman who catches that, Zamani, but it wasn't an easy one for him.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of communication there between the catcher, the pitcher, and the third baseman. So the third baseman just said, all right, I got it, and just made a difficult catch there from a high pop fly by Cush.
So 2 down for High Point. This will bring up Oswick. He'll be the cleanup man for High Point today. Pitch outside for strike 1.
Quee has been one of the better pitchers that we've seen from this Duke Blue Devils team so far. Not as many wild pitches and free bases that they've gotten from beanballs or walks. Quee has just done a much better job than his successors the last 2 games.
This is a towering pop into shallow right. That's going to drop for a base hit. Mitchell will make it to third, and he's going to round home. Oswick goes for second. He'll get there, and he'll get more as well as Mitchell scores, and Oswick's going to make it all the way to third. So High Point gets their first run of the morning as Oswick reaches third on a shallow pop to right. Not the greatest play there by Duke, as they opted to go for home instead of keeping Oswick at second. This will bring up Drew Nagel as he'll look at first pitch ball.
Yeah, as you see there, James Harris being the first one to score, coming around from all the way from first and just getting some lucky throws to go their way. Gets Oswick normally a single, gets him all the way to third. So just some lucky antics there by the Panthers, but the Panthers will take that any day that you give it to them.
Nagel fouls one back, and that'll be strike 2. Two outs here. In the top half of the third inning. Let's Quee will step off for a timeout. That'll be up high for ball 2. You'll even the count. Up high again. Make it a full count here for Quee.
Quee having a very high pitch count going into this third inning. It'll see if the Panthers can capitalize off that tired arm.
Fouled back by Nagel. Here's a full count pitch. That'll be high outside, and that'll be a walk for Drew Nagel. Now put runners on the corners for High Point. Still 2 outs. They're up a run now, thanks to Oswick's triple. Made James Harris the first run scored for High Point this morning. This will bring up Vito DeMont. DeMont swings, and it's popped high back.
This Duke lineup, as we got the lineup card here this morning, is not very deep. They have 11 guys sitting in their dugout this morning, excuse me. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Duke pitching if they end up getting super tired.
Nagel will take second standing up. Oh, 2 count for DeMont. He'll take one high inside for his first ball. Here's the 1-2. Outside, and I'll even the count. Fouled back left by DeMont as he continues to battle. Two-two count here. As you look at a low ball 3 to make this a full count. Again, runners in the corners. 1-0 High Point. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third. And again, slower game today as compared to yesterday. And DeMont will swing on strike 3 and now retire side, but not without damage caused by High Point as Oswick gets that triple RBI. And we'll be right back here for the bottom half of the third inning right after this. We're back here for the bottom half of the third inning. It's going to be the pitcher, Quee, leading off Duke Blue Devils. Robinette still pitching for High Point. First pitch is fouled back by Quee. Oh, 1 pitch. It's high for ball 1, evening the count. As we can see here in the back, some clouds are starting to gather. A little less sunny than it was to start the game, but no complaints. As that one is swing and a miss from Queen. That hits Smith right in the mask, and he's going to take a second to collect himself.
It's normal to get a little shaken like that whenever you get hit in the face with a baseball that could be coming to you at 70 to 80 miles an hour. So always take a second if you need it.
You saw yesterday the umpire also caught a ball to his mask on a foul hit from DeMont. And here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss from Quee. That'll be strikeout number 4 for Robinette.
Robinette doing what he does best, and that's striking out batters. Got his 4th one today. That brings him to 21 strikeouts on the season. So amassing that 20 strikeout mark in only 3 games. That's very impressive.
So we'll bring up the top of the order again for Duke, with Kadiyama looking at a first strike. A little inside, a little high. Now leaving the count. Whoa, a little inside. Quick fastball there for Robinette, and I'll go 2-1 count. Swinging foul ball. Goes past third baseman Nagel. It'll be 2-2.
That ball ending up all the way in the left outfield, and now finally the Panthers and the Blue Devils can return back to play.
And the ball got into play there. Cush had to throw it back in. Here's Robinette's 2-2 delivery. Tips back by Kadiyama.
Compared to yesterday, we see that Duke and High Point have both switched their uniforms from purple to white for High Point and from white to blue for Duke.
Here's a soft grounder up the middle. And what a play there by the shortstop Harris to get the runner out. Nice play by him after the off-speed ground ball up the middle.
I mean, when you use your bare hand and able to control it so well like that, it's just a great play. And Harris does a great job, like I said, using that bare hand and not taking any moment to let up.
Here's a towering pop into right. This will be caught, and now retired aside. Still 1-0 High Point after the third inning, and they'll be up to bat right after this. Back here for the top half of the fourth inning. As the grad student Brad Schmidt will get a first pitch strike. Schmidt swings and fouls back.
Yeah, if you're looking at Quee right now, he came into this inning with a pitch count of 69, which is nice for the Panthers. Just being able to wear out that arm even more.
As you see there, a strikeout for Schmidt. That's his second of the day. That bring up the catcher, James Smith. Quee delivers, and that's a swing and a miss from Smith.
We've seen the last two batters for High Point be very aggressive, going after the baseball. You can just see that they're trying to attack Quee and his high pitch count here.
Check swing by Smith. Good decision by him. That's the ball. The 1-1. Swing, and it's fouled off the mask of Sarchio.
Sarchio doesn't even look phased. He was just like getting right back into the play, and good to see he's all right.
1-2 count here. Throw is high. It'll be ball 2.
The Panthers seem to have found a line between being too aggressive and having a good eye, because it's a fine line. And
here's a high drive in the center field. It's going to get over the head of the center field. There's going to be extra bases for Smith. Smith wheels into second base, and that's going to be a double for him.
yeah, just being very aggressive with that base swing right there, and just being able to get extra bases, and just a very impressive swing there, as we see Musselman coming out to pinch run for Smith again.
So Musselman will sub back in for Smith as the pinch runner. And I bring up Cole Mitchell here to the plate.
Cole Mitchell had a couple of good hits yesterday that allowed the Panthers to continue to play with energy late into those high-scoring games, and we'll see if he can make an impact here by running in a base, hitting in a base runner.
1-0 count, start off Mitchell's at bat. Quee checks back, but it's thrown way outside for ball 2. Mitchell looks at his first strike of the at-bat. Runner in scoring position at second. Mitchell looks and swings. It's a line drive over the second baseman. That's going to score Musselman. He's going to chug for home. He's going to get there standing up. Mitchell gets the RBI single, and Musselman scores in as a pinch runner for Smith.
Cole Mitchell continuing to make big plays into these 3 games. Just having a great RBI single, getting it right over the second baseman's head, and continue to make impact plays as he has all weekend.
And now bring up the top of the batting order for High Point with Quinn DeWitt leading off. He'll bunt down the third base line as he chugs for first. And he's going to get there. Good speed by DeWitt to get there on first after the bunt. And now advance Mitchell to second.
DeWitt having that bunt just in his bag. He did a great job of seeing that, seeing the pitch, reading it well, and delivering that bunt exactly where it needed to be along that third base line. And then to finish it off with the speed, just a great play there by Quinn DeWitt.
So runners on first and second for James Harris as he'll look at first pitch inside for ball 1. 1 out here for High Point. Good scoring opportunity here for them. Ooh, that pitch goes inside towards Harris. Almost clips him.
Harris has been an impact player so far by getting a good on-base percentage this game, and also having been the first runner who scored for this Panthers team. He'll look to drive in up to 2 more here.
Mitchell gets back-to-back strikes. Now even the count. Quee delivers, and that's over the head of Harris. Almost gets them in the melon if he didn't duck. It'll be a full count now. Quee delivers. It's fouled back towards our direction.
Harris is doing a great job here, just staying in this fight with the pitcher and fouling off the balls that could have gotten him strucken out. So great plays here by James Harris.
James will take a walk here and now load up the bases for Oliver Cush.
I mean, this is a scary sight to see. If I'm Quee in this situation, I see that Oliver Cush being the power hitter for the Panthers, just knowing that he had hit a home run yesterday, you don't want to let up anything too big. And with his pitch count reaching upwards of 90 right now, his arm has got to be tired. We'll see if the Panthers can capitalize on this.
A towering hit back towards our direction. It'll be foul. O2 count here for Cush. It's another foul ball. As that will strike the top of the roof of our booth. O2 count. Way high and inside. Ash Cush will take his first ball of the at-bat. The 1-2. Cush hits it. High fly ball to the third base side. And Zemane is there to be able to catch it. 2 outs now for High Point. Bases still loaded.
Quee doing a great job there at just maneuvering around the bat of Cush. But he's got to continue to put his foot on the gas as we have Oswick coming up right after him.
Oswick will foul one back. So Mitchell on third, DeWitt on second, and Harris on first. Drew Daigle is in the on-deck circle. Clouds still continue to come in here at Jack Coombs Field. A little sunlight. As Oswick fouls another ball back for an 0-2 count. So we have a ball on the inside, almost clips Oswick for a 1-2 count. And Oswick will strike out here and now retire to side as the rain continues to pick up here in Denver, North Carolina. And we'll have the bottom half of the fourth right after this. We're back here for the bottom half of the fourth as rain has picked up here at Jack Coombs Field in Durham, North Carolina. Could be a factor for both pitchers and hitters. As a three-man for Duke, Briley will look at a ball one.
You look at this Panthers score being 2-0 right now. You have to notice that the Panthers have left a lot of runners on base at the end of the innings.
And that's a pop fly to left field by Briley. Cush looks up, and he'll catch that one for the first out.
As I was mentioning, the Panthers have left the bases loaded twice in these 4 innings that we've been in so far, which is just not good right now for the Panthers. They could be up a lot more if they can continue to keep their hits into the bottom of the outs, and we'll see if the Panthers defense can make up for that here.
Robinette throws ball one. It looks like he slips after his delivery. Pitch up high. Just barely misses the strike zone for ball two. Two-one count here to Zamani. That's going to be a low strike two. Now leaving the count at 2 apiece. Robinette approaching 60 pitches. And he'll swing and get Zamani for his 5th strikeout of the morning.
Zamani just caught reaching, and Robinette just throwing an absolute dirty pitch just to the outside and making him reach and swing his bat at that one. But just a great pitch there from Bradley Robinette.
Robinette throws, and it's a foul ball off to the right-hand side here. At bat for Duke right now is Granado. The 0-1 pitch. Inside, up high for strike two. 2 outs here for Duke. As Robinette sets and throws. Way outside. Trying to go for an off-speed pitch there. It'll be a 1-2 count. Like Robinette slipped a little bit on that delivery on the mound. Robinette throws again. It's outside.
The rain not being here for 10 minutes yet and just already making an impact, making that mound a tad bit more slippy.
Robinette throws again outside. That's the 3rd straight ball he's thrown. They'll make a full count. Three-two pitch. Way outside again. And he'll walk Granado.
The first base runner for this Duke Blue Devils team in this inning, even though it is 2 outs. And we see Goldman pointing up to the camera, just seeing that we're going to see if the Duke Blue Devils can do anything here in this inning.
Towering pop-up into the infield. Third baseman doesn't know where it is. Reek finds it. And Nagel retired aside. So Duke gets a guy on base. No damage done, and High Point still leads 2-0 after the 4th. We're back here for the 5th inning as Drew Nagel lead off the High Point Panthers. High Point up 2-0 as Quee delivers his 100th pitch now. 1-0 count. Nagel will sky one to right. Right fielder will catch it, and now will be the first out for Duke.
Looking at the outfielder from up here in the broadcast booth, I thought he didn't even know where that ball was, but seems as if he found it in well enough time and makes a good catch.
The rain seems to have died down so far, though we heard some rumblings of thunder behind us. As Quee will set to deliver to DeMont. Be low for ball 1. Quee sets up. He'll throw. Clips the outside for strike 1. Quee the 1-1. It's fouled off by DeMont towards the High Point dugout. Again, Quee has eclipsed the 100 pitch mark, which is crazy to think about in only the 5th inning.
This guy's been a machine for this Duke Blue Devils team.
Quee delivers. It's a swing and a high fly into foul territory on the right-hand side. The 1-2 count to DeMont. Off speed, it's a little low. Now even the count at 2 apiece. The 2-2. It's fouled to the right-hand side. In play, but in foul territory, it bounced out into the shrubbery.
DeMont fighting to stay in this in this at bat and looking to see if he can get the best of Quee here when the pitch count's not in his favor.
2-2 pitch, 1 out. Strike 3 called for DeMont. And Quee gets another strikeout under his name.
Quee's had a handful of those here today, and he has just been so good for this Duke Blue Devils team. You think back to both the games yesterday, which I believe both ended in 5 innings. Now the Panthers have only scored 2 through 5 innings, so he's just been a key part to this Blue Devils defense here.
So let's bring up Schmidt. He struck out twice today. Pitch out the middle. It's a towering pop into the infield. Shortstop's there, and he'll retire to side. A quick 3 up, 3 down for High Point. As we'll head to the bottom of the 5th right after this. We're back here for the bottom half of the 5th inning. High Point leading 2-0 as Robinette continues to pitch for High Point. He'll throw low ball 1 to Sarchio. Check swing for Sarchio. He goes a little too far. And that'll be strike 1 to him.
Even though it's been such a low-scoring game, you can see just by the pitch count from the two pitchers so far how this game has really been going.
Robinette throws low inside for ball 2 as he approaches 69 pitches. Fouled back by Sarchio for a 2-2 count. No one warming up in the High Point bullpen just yet. Here's the 2-2. Paints the outside corner. That's another strikeout for Robinette.
That's 23 strikeouts on the season for Robinette, and just an absolute dominant performance. 6 strikeouts here today already, which he has done in both of the games so far that he has played.
Grounder to first. He'll pitch it over to Robinette. He can't get the ball. The throw was a little bit behind Robinette. He's unable to get that out. And it'll be registered as an error under his name. Or on the first baseman's name, excuse me.
Robinette just amassing that 70 pitch mark. He's used to pitching a lot in the games that he has played. In the Maryland game, which was the last weekend of February, he pitched all 7 innings for this Panthers team. And in South Carolina, he amassed 89 pitches in 5 innings, which is very impressive to show the endurance of his arm. And he can keep on going here into this 6th inning.
So Brown's on first. 1-0 count to Zamani. He'll swing. I strike 1. Excuse me. This is Quee up to bat, the pitcher. 1-1 count to him. 1 out for Duke. Panthers looking to turn a double play here. Pitch down the middle. Now we strike 2 to Quee.
Quee showing that he can do it all here, just having a good at-bat so far, and knowing that he's the pitcher who just has been pitching 110 pitches this game.
And there's another strikeout for Robinette. Catcher Smith throws the first try to get off Brown. There'll be 2 outs here for Duke. And that'll leave the top of the batting order for Kadiyama to step up. Robinette delivers. Outside for ball 1. No rain here at Jack Coombs Field in Durham, as we had a little bit of downpour last inning. Here's a hit into left field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Brown wanted to dig for 3. Slips up, but is still able to get back to second safely. So 2 outs now for Duke. Runners on first and second. This will bring up Coy Kendall to the plate.
The Panthers would love to escape this inning without letting up any more hits, and we'll see if Robinette can be the reason why.
From that, Stetson delivers. Off speed pitch. Nice little slider there now, getting to the inside for strike one. He'll throw another slider. It's a ground ball up to second. Harris will tag up and now retire to side. No runs allowed, again by the Panthers. And we'll be back for the sixth right after this. We are back here at Jack Castillo in Durham. It looks like we're going to have a 30-minute delay due to the weather. The rain is continuing to fall here. It's picked back up. I guess the umpires heard some thundering in the distance. So High Point will go back to their team bus for a few minutes. We'll be right back here soon once we get back to the action. And we welcome you back here to Jack Coombs Field after that short rain delay. After getting some inside scoop, the umpires thought they saw some lightning, so they delayed the game for about 30 minutes. Now we're back to play here. Jay Smith leads off with a hit over the left fielder's head. This could be extra bases too. Smith will round his way into second. And what a start we have right after the rain delay.
James Smith wasting absolutely no time getting the Panthers back on base. And as we see, here comes Musselman again to be the pinch runner for James Smith. But talking about Smith right now, he's had a phenomenal day, or morning, whatever you would like to say. He's had a great game today, hitting multiple doubles and getting on base, I believe, all 3 times so far. So he has been one star that shined very bright today.
Snaps to play, it's going to be Cole Mitchell's. He'll take a first pitch strike. No outs here for the Panthers, top of the 6th. The second to last inning in this contest, and Mitchell fouls one back.
Mitchell looking to continue that hit streak. He had one today at his last at bat. We'll see if he can get another one here and maybe drive Musselman home.
There's a strike 3, and now retire Mitchell. So we'll go back to the top of the batting order here for High Point as Quinn DeWitt will take over. First pitch, he bunts it down, dribbles towards the pitcher, and the pitcher can't get a hold of it. And everyone's safe.
I mean, that's just an unfortunate play there by Quee, just not being able to get his glove on the ball. But DeWitt showing that he's just quite frankly good at bunting. You know, you've seen it twice today. You saw it once yesterday. That's just something that's deep in his bag of tricks. And just as a utility guy and a great guy, as you see right here, stealing second. He's been all over this weekend. His name in many ways, not only hitting. So it's been good to see him play well.
There's a high pop-up in the shallow left. Left fielder comes in. The shortstop makes an over-the-head grab. That was impressive.
Seems like just for a second he might have lost it, but he keeps his composure, turns around, and just has it falling right into the bread basket. So just a good catch there by the shortstop for Duke.
So this will bring up Oliver Cush with 2 outs to High Point. Runners on third and second in prime scoring position. And Cush will line this one into right field. This will be caught by right fielder and retired aside. So a quick inning here by High Point with a little bit of damage done. But the score still remains 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
And we're back here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Up to bat is Briley, I believe. Yes. Batting third for this Duke Blue Devils team. Robinette with a ball, 1. Robinette throws another ball, then a 2-0 count. Robinette way outside, gets it to 3-0. Robinette needs to dig himself out of this hole if he wants to get an out here. Robinette, the windup. That's strike 1. It's a 3-1 count for Robinette. Fouled back towards us here in the broadcast booth, and Robinette claws his way back into it with a 3-2 full count. Caught him swinging. What a pitch there by Bradley Robinette. That is his 8th strikeout of the day. Just absolutely being dominant. As we've talked about plenty of times here in this broadcast already, that Robinette's just a strikeout machine. Named the All-Region Pitcher of the Week last week. As you see, Robinette that throws one, hits it way into center field, but that is caught by DeWitt. The Panthers are doing really well in this inning, seeing that they are just rolling there. Robinette, 1, just digging himself out of that 3-0 hole with the first batter, and then catches the batter swinging on 1 on the first pitch. Here's the windup. High and outside for Robinette. It'd be a 1-0 count. Robinette reaching that 90 pitch marks here soon. The pitch going off the catcher's glove. That'll go 2-0 on the count. As Robinette is pitching to Granado. Granado hits one deep into center field. DeWitt goes back, and that's an easy routine catch there for DeWitt. The Panthers get 3 easy outs here, and we'll be back right after this. And we're back here at the top of the 7th inning. See that first pitch there by Quee, who has just amassed 120 pitches on the day, which is just a crazy amount. We'll see. We'd love to see how his arm is feeling after that. There's a line drive hit right in between the second baseman and the first baseman, which is a great single for Brady Oswick Oswick has been a guy that we've mentioned a lot this weekend, being a very impactful player for both of the high-scoring Panther wins yesterday, and just making his impact known even here. Here's Quee. Looks towards first. The windup. Outside for Quee. That's a 1-0 count. Quee. Little foul ball there by Drew Nagel. Nagel's had a couple big plays here this game, and looking to get on base here today. Quee looks to first. Winds up. Fouled off to the right side by Nagel. Quee has been the best pitcher here for the Duke Blue Devils this weekend. Even at 124 pitches, he's still been throwing more controlled and better pitches than either one of his counterparts this series. As here's another foul ball by Nagel back towards us, and that is a 1-2 count. Nagel's got to fight to keep himself in this at bat, and we'll see if he can make contact with it here and get a base. Here comes a fly ball into center field, and that'll be a routine grab for the right fielder, and that'll retire Nagel. That catch in the outfield made by Goldman, who we actually saw pitching yesterday, so good to see that he's out there and still making an impact for the Devils, not even on the bump. And as up steps Jake Savino. That's a name that we have not heard today. He's the DH for the Panthers. And we'll see what he can do with his first at-bat. Savino, one of two brothers here on this High Point Panthers club baseball team, with brother Daniel Savino also being a part of this team. Here's Quee. Hit fly ball to the left in play. We'll see if this third baseman can make the catch, and he does. That's an out. First ball, first swing. Got it retired, Jake Savino. And now we're going 2 outs for the Panthers with a runner on first. We'll see if Brad Schmidt, the grad student, can do anything for this Panthers team here at the top of the 7th. You know that it's Brad Schmidt whenever you see those yellow shoes. As we get a hit just out of play, a foul ball. That'll make the count 0-1. Quee winds up. That's a strike for Schmidt. Swinging at a low ball. Schmidt, one of the 2 graduate students on this team. Quee, the windup. Gets a hit. Goes right past Quee. But the shortstop makes a great play coming across second base and gets Schmidt out at first. High Point still up 2-0 going to the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back right after this. And we're back here, bottom of the 7th. Duke Blue Devils looking to get something started to claw their way back into this game. As you can see on the mound, we have a brand new pitcher for High Point. Gets us started with a foul ball. That'll make the count 0-1. Up to bat is Goldman from the Duke Blue Devils. And the new pitcher, Aiden Donahue, the sophomore right-hander from Litchfield, Connecticut, gets the last inning of this game. As a weird pop-up, the catcher gets it, throws it right to first, and that's a routine out. Good reaction there from James Smith, the catcher, just after that weird bounce the ball took to be able to throw his mask off and throw the ball to Cole Mitchell and getting out at first.
Yeah, high chopping ground ball there by James Smith. Good job by him to react quick there and get Goldman out at first. And we saw Donahue pitch yesterday. Really dominant pitcher, nice fastball, so hopefully we see him use that today.
Donahue, the windup, gets a ball 1. Count will be 1-0. Up to bat is Sarchio, excuse me. It'll be a 2-1 count here. Donahue looking. Here's the windup. That's fouled off to the left side. It'll be a 2-2 count.
Looks like the rain's picked back up here at Jack Coombs. We had rain delay earlier due to lightning. This is a turf field. Don't expect any kind of more delays for this game.
Donahue. Got him swinging. And that will be his first strikeout for Aiden Donahue. As we mentioned earlier, we had seen him yesterday, and he had a great performance here in that first game, closing out for Knapp in that first game. Donahue. Got him right inside. That's an 0-1 count.
That's that fastball we were talking about. He used it a lot yesterday, and it's really hard to hit.
Wind up. Outside. Good job by the catcher to block that one off. As now we will see Sorchio in the batting lineup. I was mistaken that it was Goldman that was still hitting from that last at-bat. Donahue, low and outside. Little outside for Donahue. That'll make it a 3-1 count. Just outside again, and that'll walk Sorchio to first base. That'll have one of the runs that the Duke Blue Devils need in this inning to either win or take this to extra innings, but the Panthers are looking to deny their chances here. Up to bat is Brown. Donahue checking up on first base. Gets the windup. Just inside. That'll be a 1-0 count. That'll be fouled off back towards us. Way out of play. Almost into the parking lot was Brown's foul ball. Donahue. Nice off-speed pitch, but that's just outside. That'll be 2-1 count. That'll be fouled off, back towards us. And that'll make the count 2-2. Donahue amassing 16 pitches so far. Takes a break. Looking to strike out Brown here. Looks to first. Donahue. That's a fly ball into right field, but a great catch. Throws it back infield, and Brown, though hit it with a lot of strength, won't get it very far, and that's 2 outs here for the Blue Devils. Looking back at that little bloop that Smith threw to Mitchell to get Goldman out the first time, they must have called that a foul ball, and that is why we were confused up here in the booth. Inside is Donahue.
That's the last out here. Donahue looking for some kind of strikeout, just someone to close out this game and head back home.
Just high. Be ball 2. Donahue. Got him swinging. That's a 2-1 count. Got him swinging again. That's a 2-2 count, as Donahue's ahead in this count and looking to strike out Quay. Just outside. That'll be a full count. Donahue. This is a pitcher's battle. Both the Donahue, the pitcher, and Quay, the pitcher for the Blue Devils, that it's batting right now. Donahue struck him out, and that'll send the Blue Devils home, and the Panthers complete the sweep of the weekend with Donahue amassing 2 strikeouts in the final 3 outs, and that's a big win for the Panthers here as the Panthers get the win 2-0. We'll be back here soon with Panthers Club Hockey, but that's just a great weekend for the boys in purple, and we will see you soon.